We are on. Hello, everybody. Sean Beard here once again from the Cricket Gallery with Jackie behind the camera today. She's going to be helping me out. And we are our hand model once again. And we are going to be, honestly, kind of going over what I do here and just an in-depth on the whole animation process. I've got one scene in particular from, you guessed it, Beavis and Butthead, episode Beavis and Butthead's Island, that we are going to go over pretty much the whole animation process of. Now, anybody joining? Anybody? Hello to everybody. Hey, so if you don't mind zooming in already, Jackie, we'll get right into it. Now, the first part of the animation process is actually the script. So then that jumps to your storyboard artist. Now, what this is right here is this folder. When we would get the scene sent to us, this is how they would present it to us. This is part of their process. They would take the storyboard, paste it on here. And these folders are for sale, by the way. If anyone's interested, send us a message. We don't have these up on thecricketgallery.com just yet. But, so you would have your script, and then you would have your storyboard artist come in. And if we can get a good shot of that. And now what the storyboard artist does is he truly reads the script and visualizes it. What everybody is going to take from this. This is a huge part of the process.
The dialogue.
Yeah, you even get your dialogue under there. I mean,
the description.
What I love about the storyboard, it almost takes like a favorite scene from your cartoon and shows you what it would have been like in like a Sunday strip, you know? So then from there, the real animation process begins. And we get our background. Well, there's always a concept background. They don't just wing it and do the watercolor right off the bat. So right here, you would have pretty much just your basic outline and whatnot. And then eventually, that leads to mass detail in the form of watercolor. Just so much detail in that. The fact that we can go from there to there. There's just every piece of the visualization process is just amazing. So then, from there, then we start the characters or the cells, which don't start as cells. They start as production drawings. Now, the thing about the production drawings, these are done in-house. In this case, at MTV Animation, MTV Studios. This is done by a real animator at MTV. And pretty much when it goes to the cell process, that is what they're basically tracing. You get your outline. Now, this is on a clear acetate. This is what will actually be filmed for the episode.
And they weren't tracing, right? This time it was done through xerography.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yes. Yeah. So what you would do, you have your clear acetate. The outline, pretty much your pencil sketch, would be done on the front. And then they would flip it around and paint on the back side. Now, it looks just like a bunch of smudge there, but when you flip it over, everything just mashes up so perfectly. So then they would have their background finish. They would have their characters finished. And then they would have, now this is very in detail, the exposure sheet, which this pretty much is a layout and a map of how they are supposed to film each shot, put it in order. And they would even put detail. And these are all, this isn't a copy. These are the original little drawings right there, the boys with the mannequin of Ginger. And all this, let's just say coding, would tell the person exposing it how to do everything in order so that it would match up with the audio track. Because in reality, I kind of left out one part of the process. You get your script, you get your audio track, and that's usually when the storyboard artist would come in.
And here it says like lifts nachos.
Yeah, lifts nachos. Yeah, right there is just the arms, all the little detail. And these are for sale as well. These aren't listed on the website if you're interested. Honestly, you could get the entire process of this scene, frame it all up next to each other. I plan to. And then once they've got all that, and you set the boys on top of the finished master background, line it up perfectly. Yeah. And there, you got one frame of animation for...
Sorry.
Yeah.
Having a little tough time with the
there we go.
camera work.
There you go. And you got one frame of animation right there for Beavis and Butthead's Island. That is the end scene of the episode. And this shot is for sale. Send us a message. This one isn't listed either. This is a grail setup, in my opinion.
And tell John Prudenism that every animation that was hand done, well, this is the process, including the early days of Disney.
That's right,
and
yes.
And thank you, AJ. We're doing great.
Hey, was that AJ Tunes?
Uh-huh.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Hey. But yeah, this truly is a grail piece. If you're interested in this, send us a message. $2.98, which is a steal of a deal. You get the couch, nachos, TV, and I mean, you even get the mannequin of Ginger. That is definitely one that you put in the center of your Beavis and Butthead cell collections, and I did. So now that we've really kind of gone over that, you kind of get the idea of what I do here. I'm on a constant treasure hunt, finding puzzle pieces of these scenes and finding every layer of it and putting them together. And well, it's a dream come true. It's calling it a job doesn't sound too right, but yeah. So I hope that answers, because I get that question a lot, and it's a big answer. So onto that, or off of that, we got here a fantastic one of, I'm gonna mess up the name, but this is from the pilot, Phil, from the pilot of Ren and Stimpy. Now this is what's the best way to put this? Sells
progression.
It's the progression right there. You got him happy, hands coming in, grabs him by the hat, yanks him up by the throat. Honestly, this is one where I wouldn't be able to pick just one. I would just get all three and frame them up next to each other. You'd get 3 copies of the background behind it. It'd be beautiful. And there's not many, in general, there's not much left. I mean, we have had these, we got the licensing rights to distribute.
It's not licensing, we were just the distributor.
We were the distributor,
it was the art.
Still are, of all the shows that you see us selling on the Cricket Gallery often. And we've been doing that with the 90s stuff. What would you say, Jackie?
Since mid-90s.
Mid-90s. So, I mean, a lot of those scenes are out there already into collectors' hands. And we still do have some great ones. Obviously, these ones are fantastic. I'm going to show you some more here. But as they sell, they go away. And that's just kind of the deal. Let's see here. We got a fantastic one. I pulled this specifically because we're going over the animation process. This is from Little Dude, which is a season 1 episode of Rugrats. Now, what's fantastic about it is this isn't the watercolor background behind them. It's the concept background, which I have a copy of just to kind of show you it without it. And I frame stuff like this up at home. It kind of gives you a detail. It kind of like someone comes over and you're explaining to them what you have, and I don't know, this kind of gets the point across a little more. And it's just really unique. You get 2 layers of the process in one image framed up. Let's see, what else do we got here? We do have a bunch of production drawings up. These aren't up right yet, but we do have a lot of stuff on
check out the site. There's a lot of new stuff.
Lots of new stuff listed. I just wanted to pull some grails today because the people who tune in, I want to kind of give them the upper hand on getting these awesome pieces because it's cool that everyone comes and hangs out. But there we go. That's a fantastic one. Boy, the episode is escaping me. But the daycare episode. Yeah, yes. That is right. He's got the Play-Doh key. It just mashed into the keyhole, and the door opens, and Dee Dee picks Tommy up. Then we got a fantastic one here of Doug shaking Pork Chop's hand. And what's also about like I said earlier, these were done by the animators at, in this case, Nickelodeon Studio, and you get a lot of these little details.
But this is the key. This the main animator would do this drawing, and then he would tell the artists who were called in-betweeners, who would do the in-between movements, what the first movement is in this sequence, and then what the last movement is. So this is directions to the assistant animators.
Yes, absolutely. And all that little detail just makes so much. I mean, seeing the blue kind of like mock-up before they did the final layer right there, all that little stuff just adds so much charm. And we do even have our real monsters. Not a lot, but we do, and the ones we have are fantastic. This one you got Oblina and my man Crumb, who is my spirit animal. Jackie always says I smell, so...
Only every other day.
Right. And I get weekends off, so. This one is, okay, Yvette Kaplan, the supervising director for the original series of Beavis and Butthead, always says this is not only her favorite scene, but this is the standout scene in the progression of the character Beavis. In the early days, Beavis really just said yeah and laughed. He was just kind of... as Letterman put, gum under Butthead's shoe. And this episode in particular, Most Wanted, where a serial killer goes into their backyard, and they think he's also looking for the serial killer. And Beavis starts to have a moment where he starts relating to the voices in the serial killer's head. And it's the first time you really get to see Beavis come out of his shell and have some substance and some depth. And I know this is Yvette's favorite scene, and it's really, if you're a Beavis fan, this is kind of like the pre-progression into Cornholio in a way. You got to see that Beavis was, he had a lot of thoughts in his head, and this one in particular, it was killing a fly.
Yes, it's the killer episode.
Most of my, yes, with Kyler, yep.
Kyler,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Well, he has killer tattoo on his head, they think his name's Kyler, and they're afraid that he's trying to get the serial killer too. And then, of course, he gives them tattoos of butts. They have butt-shaped tattoos on them, right on their butts. So I know that's a great episode and a favorite for a lot of people. And Christopher Brown, the original head writer, actually, if anyone didn't know, was the voice of Kyler. And another grail one up here. If you are into the early controversial days of Beavis and Butthead when they were not drawn very good yet, we have one of couch fishing. Now, we don't have the master watercolor background for couch fishing, but we do have the concept background. And personally, I would prefer this anyways. I love seeing the cells over the concept background. Like I said earlier, it really kind of breaks it up and shows people that this isn't just a framed, printed out picture on the wall. This is the real deal of what you saw on your TV and grew up with. Let's see, what else do we really have?
Look at Morocco we haven't shown.
Some Morocco? Let's see, pull out the old drawer here. Let's see.
Yeah, just one, because we kind of missed
People
the
just kind of
Rocco.
got the treasure chest a little bit there, moment. Here's a great one. Rocco with the, what is he? He's got the flu in that episode, if I recall. He's got the big ice brick on his head, and he's cooling down, and all that detail with the, I don't want to pull it apart too much, but you could see that the steam coming out of his nose is his own cell. And then behind it, you have that fantastic, I love Rocco's Modern Life's backgrounds. I didn't really appreciate it until I saw them in person, and now I go back and watch the show, and it is just one of the most stylized show of the 90s. That whole little triangles in his shirt kind of ends up in the background of everything in a way. It's fantastic. And then underneath that, when we go into the folder of these shows, you end up seeing the production drawings right underneath and whatnot, and these great, I love production drawings. You really get to see all that up close detail, and especially, I mean, you go your whole life watching these episodes, and you see the cells, and it's amazing. You get to see that little detail down there that you didn't actually get to see make it on your screen, and that's fantastic. But you definitely didn't see these production drawings growing up, or these exposure sheets, or the storyboards. Maybe over the years some DVDs have let some out and some behind the scenes footage, but it's just it's a surreal thing.
Matt Haunted is asking, do we have any Wacky Deli episode?
Wacky Deli episode. As a matter of fact, I came across one the other day with the sausage, the chopped up sausage pulling Rocco up by the ears. Send us a message, and I will go back and try and find that for you. I know I just saw that the other day. I think we only had one from it, but yes, it was the Wacky Deli. That brings up a lot of good memories. Rocco's Modern Life was kind of ahead of its time on the subtly being an adult show. Anybody else say anything cool?
Not yet. And
what? Come on, everybody. Ask me
It's Friday.
questions. Yeah. What's everybody doing tonight? But yeah, I mean, that's about it today. It's just awesome to really go over this whole process and put into perspective what I do here, because it's amazing, and I couldn't be happier in life. And this is beautiful to be able to take a scene from a show that I've obviously obsessed over my whole life, and now be able to see every process of it, and to be able to sell it to everybody. So if anyone is interested, hit us up, or thecricketgallery.com. And we do have a newsletter. If you text the word TOONS, TOONS, to 22828, correct?
Yes.
22828.
TOONS.
And TOONS to 22828. What is it, Jackie? You will get $5 off your next purchase.
And
Yes.
get the newsletter.
And you'll get the newsletter.
Someone's
And-
commenting that they love your tattoos.
Well, thank you very much. Yes.
And Mondo is saying hello.
Oh, Anthony, what's going on? Mondo Video, one of my best homies right there. How you doing, buddy?
Whoever was
Good to
asking
see.
about things hidden in the stack, SpongeBob. We just have the 2 SpongeBobs on the site now.
They are
They
on
do
the
come
site,
available,
yeah.
but there's 2 fabulous ones on the site.
Yes.
www.thecricketgallery.com. So check that out.
Yes, and we are hoping to get some more shows in. We did go to our website. We don't just have Nickelodeon
No.
and MTV. I mean, we range all the way back to the 30s with some Disney. Different price level than what we're talking about. But I mean, if you just like this stuff, just go on our website and check out what we have anyways, so you can just see how awesome we are. But yeah, I think that will about wrap it up today. And I'll be back in 2 weeks. Michael will be back next week. We do a bi-weekly thing where we go off. And thank you to everybody. I'm Sean. Thank you so much.
How do I stop it?
Me too, okay. Robert. Aw, everybody's so nice.